Hi everyone and welcome to this video presentation of me. My name is David Harrison. I'm going to be a tutor this year on the HOB course, and I'd like to start off by just giving you a little bit of information about myself. With a name like David Harrison, there's probably a strong possibility that I'm British or North American. Actually, I'm British, and I was born in Bristol many, many years ago. However, I've spent most of my working life living and working in Spain. And at the moment, I'm based in the north of Spain, in Santander, Cantabria, on the coast, surrounded by mountains. And although the weather's not very nice today, we do have some wonderful weather in the summer, and this year especially a very long and pleasurable summer, which seems to have come to an abrupt end. Let me tell you first about my studies. I'm an English Literature and American Studies graduate from the University of London. Later, I completed my studies with an MA Ed, a master's degree in education from the Open University, where I learnt a lot about learning theory and how people do things and how we learn from the way we do things and what we do. Although I'm an English literature graduate and an American studies graduate, I've spent a lot of my working life working in companies. Although I was a school teacher initially, I've spent a lot of my time working in companies where I've been teaching people about things like public speaking, critical thinking, creative thinking. More recently, tools like design thinking. I kind of worked for many years more in companies. Recently, I've come back more into the field of education, where I'm doing quite a lot of teacher training in things like open education, how we can adapt to the world of the MOOC, how we can adapt this to school teaching or university teaching. I've also been working in areas like complex problem solving. I do a lot of work in entrepreneurship and kind of careers guidance or professional identity guidance. And that's brought me into contact with lots of the 21st century competencies and skills that we'll be dealing with on this course. As you can see from the organizations that I work in, it's a bit of a confusing working life. So really, although I work part-time in the distance university in the UNED, I do a lot of freelance work for government agencies, for local authorities, for foundations like the Botín Foundation, where I work in their responsible education program, teaching creative thinking for teachers, and with other kind of university-based organizations like the THICE, which deals with entrepreneurship. Kind of looks like this. This is what my work looks like. There's lots of, no, they shouldn't be that way around. There's lots of scribbling things and drawing things on the ground, inventing machines. There's lots of debate. There's lots of discussion. There are lots of team building activities and creative thinking activities. We invent lots of things. There's normally a purpose. There's normally an objective. Again, more team building activities. Recently, there's been a fair bit of Lego involved, as we use Lego to help people explore not just projects and ideas, but also how they can forge an identity in this very complex, very difficult new labor market. There's lots of discussion, there's lots of debate. There's even a bit of healthy argument and some complex problem solving as people defend ideas. And all of this is kind of destined to help people realize themselves as the owners of quite a complex problem, which is how do you fit into today's ever-changing careers market or jobs market or professional market, not just in your professional identity, but in your life as well. We live in difficult and confusing times, so we might do causal maps like this to try and work out how we can fit into work better. As I said, I'm interested in the way we do things, in how we work, and I do think that very often there's quite a gap between the way we've studied for incorporating ourselves into adult life and the way adult life actually is, and what companies today and what organizations and administrations and human activity is calling for different ways of work, and that's what's interesting me at the moment. In my free time, I've got two young daughters, so I don't really have that much free time. When I can escape, I tend to go to the gym, although that tends to be at kind of 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, which isn't too much fun. I enjoy hiking and walking in the country, although again, now I have to do that with 15 kilos of Sophie on my back. It's not quite so much fun. I enjoy cooking, so much so that some years ago I even set up my own small hotel in the country, and I ran that for a few years, which was fun. I enjoy cooking, especially fish, and living in Cantabria, of course, we've got excellent fish on our doorstep. I also enjoy gardening in the summer. I love my reading. I love my books. And I am a very poor guitar player. Not just poor in that I'd like to buy more expensive guitars, but I'm quite talentless in my guitar playing. But it gives me pleasure and it gives me enjoyment and does relax me enormously, even if it doesn't relax those who are near me at the time. That's a little bit about me. What I would enjoy very much is for you to share a little bit of information about yourselves. Online learning is often quite different to face-to-face learning. In online learning, it's not always easy to get the conversation and the dialogue going, so it does help if we know a little bit about each other first. That's enough from me. I'm going to see if I can disconnect this video now. I look forward very much to working with you all this year, and I do hope that it's a pleasant and a worthwhile and a fruitious experience for all of us. We'll be in touch soon.